welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about Eve in the Garden of Eden and the temptation that Satan put upon her. We're going to read in chapter 3, and it says, "Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said, You should not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Now, I did some studies, and I'd like to read to you what I found in the commentaries that I have. In the pulpit commentary, it mentions that the serpent came with a hissing and whispering sound. He was whispering to Eve, and was shiny like brass and glossy, glistening eyes. In the Arabic language, it says creeping like a serpent, metaphorically the devil. So, and from the Calvin commentary, it says quickness of sight, swiftness of motion, sleekness of his glossy skin, which was capable of being perverted to an unnatural use by the power of a craft of a superior intelligence. The reptile was no creature of earth. So let us think about this for a minute. Let's picture the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, and they communicated with God. They were acquainted with the celestial world, with the angels. They knew what they looked like, and they communicated with them also. So when Lucifer came as an angel and in his glory shining, but he was hissing and whispering to Eve, and she didn't at all think this was out of the ordinary. And so she listened, she gave an ear to him, and then she believed what he was saying. And she didn't realize the huge consequence of listening to Satan. We call Satan today. The punishment was greater than she could imagine. I found it very interesting that the book of Enoch describes the tree of good and evil, the forbidden tree that Adam and Eve should not eat of. In chapter 32, in verse 4 and 5, I'm going to read to you. That tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves like those of the carp tree, and its fruit is like the cluster of the vine. Very beautiful, and the fragrance of the tree penetrates afar. Then I said, How beautiful is the tree, and how attractive is it? Look. Then Rachel, the holy angel who was with me, answered me and said, This is the tree of wisdom, of which thy father, old and years, and thy aged mother, who were before thee, have eaten, and they learned wisdom, and their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden." So let's look at our spirit for a minute that absorbs and takes in and receives other spirit. It's like a receiver. It'll take it in and work it through, and then there are results. If you can imagine that this spirit from the serpent was something very new, and she just took it all in and she believed it right away, and then she went to Adam, and with the spirit that she received from the serpent And she went to Adam and also then poured this spirit onto Adam. And he took that spirit on himself also. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3 and 4 it says, "But I fear lest somehow as the serpent deceived Eve by his craftiness, so your minds may be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Christ. For if he who comes preaches another Jesus, whom we have not preached, or if you receive a different spirit, which you have not received, or a different gospel, which you have not accepted, you may well put up with it." In Matthew chapter 10, 16-20, "Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to councils and scourge you in their synagogues. You will be brought before governors and kings for my sake, as a testimony to them and to the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, do not worry about how or what you should speak, for it will be given to you in that hour what you should speak. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father who speaks in you." So God cursed the serpent and said, "On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life." To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." In verse 17, then to Adam he said, "Because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life." Verse 19, it says, "In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground. For out of you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return." So next week we're going to look into chapter 4, and that is about Cain and Abel, the children from Adam and Eve. And I'm going to do my studies and research until then, and I'd just like to say that God loves you all, and blessings till the next time.